everyone. Good morning. Welcome back into the AM show. All right, guys, I teased a fantastic guest, and it is now time because we are excited to have Ray Negron with us today, a man whose journey in baseball is as legendary as the team that he's been a part of. From a chance encounter with George Steinbrenner that led to his role as the Yankees bat boy, to becoming a best-selling author, film producer, and a dedicated philanthropist, Ray's story is one of perseverance and passion. He's made a huge impact on youth through his Hank's Yanks program and has been honored for his work in the community. So without further ado, Ray, it's an honor to have you here today. Welcome to the AM show. Hello.
Thank you for having me on.
How you doing, Ray?
I'm doing good. Hey, listen, how bad could I be? I'm on your show.
Oh, there you go. I like that attitude this morning, right? Well, we're so glad to have you on the show. And Ray, your journey began in such an unexpected way. It's quite a brilliant story because at 17, you were caught spraying graffiti at Yankee Stadium. And I know I've read you said it's not graffiti. You were trying to just make it look pretty good, right? And instead of actually being put into jail or being punished, George Steinbrenner himself offered you a second chance. So can you tell us all about that moment and how it changed your life?
Well, in 1973, what we did was run the streets heavy in those days. As they used to say, the Bronx was burning. And one day in particular, I was doing a little mark on a wall when all of a sudden a car comes up on the sidewalk, two guys jump out, we all scatter, and I'm the one that's caught. I'm put in a holding cell, and then because the security that was with this man said, this is where he belongs, there is nothing that we can do for these people. And that man took it as a direct challenge, and he said, give me the kid. And the next thing you know, I was in the Yankee locker room putting on a Yankee uniform to be the bat boy that night, and the man that had caught me was George Steinbrenner.
Yeah, I mean, that is a wild story that he himself was the one who caught you and brought you down there. I mean, when you relive that story, when you talk about that moment, do you still like get butterflies? Like, what is that feeling like when you recall it?
Well, it's 15 years since he died. And so I'm sitting here in my office and I look at the walls and I see him all over. So I get emotional, and I miss him. Because it's not the same like when he was there. He was exciting, he was fun, he was crazy, he was a madman, and he had the most incredible heart for the lesser, for the people like me. They came from those streets, and why he was always extending his hand to our people in the Bronx is beyond me, but he did. He wasn't afraid to go into the neighborhood. He wasn't afraid to see families that were in need and drop a few dollars on them. And he wasn't afraid to go into a neighborhood school and talk to the kids. And he wasn't afraid to go into the local bodega or the restaurants and eat some rice and beans.
Yeah. I mean, you just saying all of that, what a great legacy and what a beautiful legacy that he leaves behind. And especially for those who were close to him like you were, to be able to tell those stories to keep his memory alive. But I just want to know, how did your guys' relationship evolve from that day where he brings you down into the Yankee locker room and says, okay, you're going to be a bat boy now, to then being that close and personal with him for decades? How did that evolve over time?
What happened in particular, one day I was leaving the park, and he says, you working late today, huh? And I said, yeah. And he said, here, let me give you a ride home. And so him and his chauffeur dropped me off where I lived on Westchester Avenue. And as they were driving me home, he was looking at the buildings and he was saying, Jesus, to have to live like this. And I said, boss, I do live like this. And he just got real quiet. And then after that, he couldn't do enough for our people. I remember one day, I was telling him that my cousin that lived with me was getting in all sorts of trouble. And he said, bring him in tomorrow and we're going to put him to work. And by the time I got to my cousin, he had been shot and killed. And so after that, like, felt so bad because of the timing of everything. And he would hire a lot of my friends to work. And some of these people went on to do great things with their lives. And one was probably one of New York's biggest DEA agents, Hector Pagan. And another guy, Sam Carey, would go on to join Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Wow, it's just they needed the opportunity, they needed the chance, and that's what he was able to give them.
They needed a platform. But you know, the funny thing with Sam, when he joined the circus and Mr. Steinbrenner was looking for him, he said, Ray, I haven't seen Sam, where is he? And I said, boss, I hate to tell you, but Sam joined the circus. and the boss started laughing hysterical. And I said, boss, what is so funny about that? He says, didn't he realize that with the Yankees, he was already in the circus?
That's a wonderful answer there, and it's coming up from the boss. There's a lot of stuff happening here. I mean, seeing just how emotional you get about the relationship, of course, and just talking about him, it clearly changed your life. Not a lot of people can really go back and kind of pinpoint one day in their life that kind of switched everything for them and made a lasting impact. And I just want to know, like, if you could go back in time to your 17-year-old self, to that day when you were caught with graffiti, not knowing kind of the life that was about to be planned out for you, what advice or what would you tell that 17-year-old boy?
Well, you got to understand that in my home, there were 7 boys. And today, I'm the only one that's alive. There were 7 boys. I'm the only one that didn't go to prison.
Wow.
So that, and also understand that I had a father who gave me up for adoption. So that shows you, and that tells you the importance of a mentor in life. No matter who it is, if you have someone that you look up to, like when you see the movie A Bronx Tale, you know, the gangster was the mentor to that boy. The gangster wanted good for that boy. He didn't want him to be a gangster like him. And that's what I had. I had a lot of mentors. I had George Steinbrenner as a mentor. He was one way, and then I had our manager, Billy Martin. He was as close to a father as I ever had. And during a period of low self-esteem, which any kid that comes out of the Bronx and lives that life, you deal with low self-esteem. And Billy Martin, who came from the same situation, no father, etc., what have you, always fighting, and he made me feel like I was somebody. He used to take me to have dinner with Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr. and made me feel like, I used to say, I don't belong here, and he used to say, you belong here as much as they do, and you'll learn that. And you know, this is why I get emotional and why I do what I do, and why I feel I have to be a mentor to young people to hope that they can see the light.
Yeah, definitely, so they can see the light, and your stories, they definitely show that light, and it is a wonderful thing that you're doing, because the amount of community outreach to other underprivileged youth and the connection that you have to them and how you're helping to change their lives, not only just through you speaking with them and being as raw and honest as you're being today, which I'm so thankful for, because I think it's great for people to understand that importance of mentorship, why it is important to lead other folks once you get to a level to look back and help bring other people up. And I just want to know, what is it about baseball specifically that kind of can help facilitate that?
Baseball, the Yankees. Like I always tell people, like when they get mad at the Yankees because they didn't make the right trades, the right deals. And I always say the same thing, do not get mad at the Yankees, because the Yankees are the guys on the field, not the guys in the suits. Those are not the Yankees. The Yankees are the players on the field. Root, Garrett, DiMaggio, Mantle, Jeter. You know, those are the I used to watch Yankees religiously as a kid, and the Yankees were bad. They were in last place. But I didn't care because I loved those players so much. I loved the Mickey Mantle that when I was a little boy, and so they meant the world to me. And when I would get to meet these people and saw that they were great players, but they were also great people, and that meant a lot to me.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine because you have rubbed shoulders with kind of the creme de la creme of the Yankees team, of the Yankees roster. And I just want people to understand specifically, for maybe who they're not familiar with baseball, what exactly is a bat boy? What were your duties back then that allowed you to kind of be in the clubhouse and be able to be around some of those massive names that you just mentioned? So what were your duties back then?
My duties initially was you pick up the bat.
It's as simple as it sounds.
As simple as it sounds. But you also, you help. Like my duties were, I would help with batting practice. I would go on the field because I was a good player. So I would help with the rounding up of the baseballs and everything like that. Before the game, I get the helmets out, I get the bats out. I shine the shoes. I pick up the dirty underwears. I pull out the towels. These are all the I go out. I run out to McDonald's and get the hamburgers. I mean, anything and everything, and I would do anything for the players. They want me to do whatever, I did it. And they were like big brothers. The Thurman Munsons and the Reggie Jacksons. Those are my big brothers.
Yeah. I mean, those are wonderful big brothers to have. And clearly you put the work in. You had an opportunity laid out ahead of you and you said, yes, I'm going to take this opportunity and run with it. And your story is so incredible that you even created a memoir. And I believe we have a photo of this as well, Yankee Miracles, which not only was a New York Times list, but also it was turned into a play. What was that experience like?
The play was a lot of fun. To be off Broadway with something like this, and actually they're trying to take it to Broadway. The people that did In the Heights are trying to situate it to go to Broadway. We'll see. I hope that they do it before I leave this world. They've been working on it for over 10 years.
Yeah, wow, over 10 years. Yeah, I mean, people don't understand how long it takes to get something up off the ground, right?
Well, look at it this way. As Chaz Palminteri right now is presently producing my documentary, along with Richard Gere. And that's something that's going to be out this summer. But like Chaz would tell me, A Bronx Tale took like almost 20 years to get to Broadway.
Did it really? Wow.
And Jersey Boys, Frankie Valli, who's a very dear friend, told me that it took him 12 years to get Jersey Boys to Broadway.
Wow.
So at 10 years, I'm doing okay.
I think you're doing a little bit more than okay there, Ray. I think you've done a lot, and it seems like your path is only going to continue. And I just wanted to let people know that you have also been recognized for a lot of the work that you've done. You've won numerous awards, including you're inducted into the International Latino Sports Hall of Fame and the New York State Baseball Hall of Fame. And I just want to know, what do these recognitions actually mean to you when you go up and you realize that people have seen what you've done for the community, where you took that opportunity that George gave you and now you're giving other children that opportunity, and to be recognized for that? What does that mean?
Well, last year, I think it was, I was recognized at the United Nations. Mm-hmm. And to be standing at that podium, and I look back and I see that seal, and I say to myself, how did I get here? How did this happen? And I believe that God just had a plan for me, and so I try not to disappoint him or my Yankee people that really believed in me.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you didn't disappoint at all, and I think that everybody is very grateful. You hear the stories, people talking about you, very grateful for everything that you have done for them, and I'm so grateful that you were able to come here and join us today, and I'm so excited to hear that you're going to have a documentary out this summer, so you definitely have to come back once that's going to air, and so that way we can promote it and show that to everyone. And if you could just give advice to someone maybe that was like yourself when you were younger, what advice would you have?
George Steinbrenner, I was going through a bad situation at Yankee Stadium one time. When I started, I was like one of the first people of color to work there, especially closely with the team. And there was that security guard that I told you about. Whenever Steinbrenner was around, he used to harass me. And I used to, at one time, he took me off the field and made me shine all the shoes, okay? Because he said, your people are very good at that. And one of the players found out, got really upset about it. The great coach, Elston Howard. And he went to Steinbrenner with it. And Steinbrenner called me in the office and sat me down, and he says, why do these things keep happening to you? And I said, because the guy is a prejudiced MF. And Mr. Steinbrenner just looked at me, looked at the ceiling, then looked at me again and said, we live in a world, he said, there is prejudice, no question about it. But there's also jealousy. And I said, but I have nothing for him to be jealous of. And he says, yes, you do. And I said, what's that? And he says, you have my friendship, you have my loyalty. And he said, and I said, but don't they have it too? And he said, that guy basically is my necessary evil. You have to understand that in life, you're always going to deal with jealousy. And jealousy is more dangerous than anything in the world because your own family members could be jealous. So just remember that before you start saying A, B, or C. And that was very, very important to me because jealousy has come out on so many occasions from my people of my color, etc., as well as everybody. So it happens. And that's, for me, that's the most important lesson that I've learned in my life.
Wow. Yeah, that's a crazy story, but it is a lesson that I think we all have to learn, that sometimes the evil can just seep out of people and you have to recognize what is it that they're saying, where is it stemming from, because you can understand people a little bit better in that way. Now, Ray, thank you so much once again for being here. Thank you for being so honest, for sharing your story. What a story that you have. And before I leave, I just want to know, are Yankees winning this year? They winning a ring this year? They're going to win the World Series? What are you thinking?
Of course not.
No?
I'm just kidding, just kidding.
We're going to clip it. No.
I am hoping that we win this whole thing. Let's see. Brian Cashman has done a wonderful job with the trades that he made and pickups that he made as far as the players. So I'm excited for this team. This team's going to be fun, even without Soto. Good luck, Mets. But,
yeah, that's going to
be all right.
The big competition out here, Mets versus Yanks. Well, thank you, Ray, so much for everything, for being here. And we're definitely going to have you back again once your documentary does air. Ray Negron, everyone. Thank you, thank you. All right, guys, I told you that was going to be a fantastic interview. So thank you so much for joining us. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and we have more of the show on this Thursday when we return.